Today was one of the most important games of spring training so far because for the first time this spring, the San Francisco Giants played a game that had both StatCast capabilities and was televised on MLB TV, which means if you were watching today's game, you had the opportunity to see Landen Roupp, who threw 3 scoreless innings with 5 strikeouts. He's now thrown 5 scoreless innings the entirety of this spring as he's trying to make the opening day roster as a 5th starter. And one of the things that was especially noteworthy from this start is that he debuted a new pitch, his cutter. And he technically threw one of these in his first start of the spring against the Texas Rangers, but this was the most he's thrown in a single outing this spring. Granted, it was only 4, but he did induce some swing and miss. He was able to get someone to strike out swinging with that cutter. The cutter is going to continue to be a burgeoning pitch for Roupp. Ooh, burgeoning, that is the UC Berkeley me popping out aggressively. But it's going to continue to be a pitch for him to watch going forward as he throws it in game situations. For right now, he's only going to use it against left-handed hitters. He's not going to use it against righties, at least for the time being. And coming into spring training, one of the main competitions that the Giants had is for the 5th rotation spot. And that's a rotation spot that's headlined, as far as the competition goes, by Hayden Birdsong and Kyle Harrison, both of whom will have the opportunity to pitch tomorrow. Harrison pitching for the first time. But if the Giants thought that they were going to have an easy decision to make with those two kind of headlining things, Landen Roupp is ensuring that that is not the case. And it is going to be interesting to see exactly how the Giants manage this situation going forward, having 3 guys who could potentially be viable starters in that 5th spot. If there is a situation where it's either Harrison or Birdsong who cracks that 5th spot, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Roupp going forward. Do they potentially start him with AAA Sacramento as a starter, or would they bring him to San Francisco as a reliever? Obviously, way too early to tell, but that will be something to monitor going forward. The biggest noteworthy item from today's game was that Jake Lamb left in the middle of the 7th inning with left quad tightness. Just kind of happened in the middle of a play. They subbed him out, and Bob Melvin said that the team will know more tomorrow. Along with Lamb, Jung Lee made at least what should have been a highlight play over there in center field. Basically tracks down a fly ball, slides, kind of lands on the shoulder that he injured last year. From the video, it looked like he caught it. In real time, it looked like he caught it. I believe it was the second base umpire who said that he caught it, but the umpiring crew allowed play to continue on. The umpires congregate. They eventually say that nope, that ball was indeed on the ground, although again, if you look at the video, it clearly was not. And Melvin did say he was a little nervous when he saw Lee slide, but noted that Lee did in fact make the catch, and that's kind of his speed as far as playing. His instincts are his instincts, and he's not going to go against them. And the final thing to get into from today's game is that Lou Trevino, who was in camp as a non-roster invitee, made his first Cactus League appearance through a scoreless inning, struck out 2 batters. Trevino said he's throwing as many as 6 pitches. Today he threw 5 of them. Given that he is a reliever as opposed to a starter, we might see that get refined, but it's too early to tell. And Trevino is going to be someone to monitor over the course of camp. Obviously, he has an established major league career, hasn't pitched in the major leagues since 2022 after undergoing Tommy John surgery in 2023. He did make 11 appearances with the New York Yankees AA and AAA affiliates. And when you look at the current state of the Giants rotation, you can say that there are about 5 or 6 locks, depending on your perspective, them being Ryan Walker, Tyler Rogers, Camilo Duvall, Eric Rogers, Sean Jelly, and Randy Rodriguez. The last 2 spots being a little iffy, and there is going to be talk about whether or not the Giants are prioritizing a second lefty. Do they want to prioritize it heavily? Do they just let things happen as they seem? But it is going to be interesting to see how Trevino factors into that discussion, given that Trevino has had experience at the major league level, he has had success at the major league level, and he has pitched under Melvin previously.